thank you for, continuing to join us, our fifth K-12 school fair hosted by InAmerica Education. My name is Cindy. I'm the director of the K-12 and boarding admission at InAmerica Education. So I will be the host for tonight. So tonight we have, three wonderful great school presenting. Which are Asheville School from North Carolina. This school is a boarding and a day school offering grades from 9th and 12th grade. And also following that, we have, Cranbrook's School, also a day and a boarding school from, Michigan, offering grade from a nursery school to 12th grade. And the last one is the Trinity School, a day school from New York City, offering grade from K-12s. So for the first school, Asheville School, we have the honor to invite Miss Dari Barbroff, the Senior Associate Director of Admission and Director of Financial Aid, to share more about Asheville School and the admission information. Hi, Dari.
Hi, thank you for having me, and good evening or good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the call. Cindy, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, very clear. Thank you for joining us tonight. I understand it's, nighttime. So I think you're doing this from your office?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, good. How's everything going with, the admission, the new school year and everything?
Yes, the school year is going great. Thank you for asking. One of my roles here is I coach girls tennis. And so it makes my fall very busy, but very fun and very rewarding.
Yeah, this is just, a few weeks. I believe it's going to be very exciting, Sure. So you can feel free to share your presentation because my colleague sent an email, mentioned that because we wanted to keep the flow, so we are using AI to create automatic, translation. So as long as you set up, your speaking language English, so we should be able to see this, and our audience can also, see see the translation automatically. Just wanted you to know this.
Okay, perfect. Hopefully that is set. And just give me.
Yeah, I can see everything perfectly from my end. I think our audience should be able to see it. So my colleague is going to send another reminder, just to make sure all the, audience could see, this, could use this function. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And can you see my Asheville School being shared, my slideshow?
Yes. So I think you needed to share the screen.
Okay. I think I am. Are you not seeing the Asheville School in the big?
Yes, I still see, your screen, but not the school slides.
Okay, do you mean you see like kind of behind the scenes?
Yeah, I can only see you, but I don't see the slides.
Oh. Okay. Let's try again.
Yes, it's working perfectly. I can see it now.
Okay, sorry everybody. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so are you seeing it as the full screen?
Yes.
Fully.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So Cindy, I believe do we have a translator on the call as well? So should I sort of pause periodically?
No, it's okay. So we have the caption function. So when we're talking, the Zoom, the AI gonna translate automatically. So amazing. We don't need But if, later on some parents, sent the question in the meeting chat in the end, I can definitely, translate that to English to you. But like the caption function works very well. So we just wanted to keep the flow, I know sometimes you also wanted to share more when we translate. We just cut the whole presentation short, but yeah, that's the point. Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
Awesome, Cindy. Thank you so much. And sorry everybody for the delay in getting set up here. I will jump right in. So my name is Deary Baboff, and I work here in the admission office. This is my 10th year here in the admission office and at Asheville School. And in addition to my role here in admission and financial aid, I also have the privilege of being an advisor for 6 girls. And I also coach girls and boys tennis. And I live here on campus as well as a hall parent, which many of us do as well. Almost all of the faculty live here on campus. So it's really one big community. Let's start big picture in terms of where we are in the U.S. We are located in the Southeast. So we are about a 3-hour drive from Atlanta, about a 3 or 4 hour drive from Raleigh, North Carolina. Typically our students from China will fly into either like Chicago and then fly to Asheville, or Atlanta and then to Asheville. Or we have flights from New York as well. So we are in the city of Asheville, which for me, I grew up in a very small, really not even a town, really in the country, in Belize in Central America. And so for me, the city of Asheville is big. I know by Chinese standards, it is very small, but we are in the city of Asheville. The whole metro area is about 400,000 people. And while we have a 300-acre campus where we sort of have our own kingdom here at Asheville School, right, we're 10 minutes from where this photo was taken downtown. So our students have a lot of access to, whether it's on the weekends, go out to downtown or to dinner or to the movies, or whether it's with the school trip, right? Which we have every weekend as well. But it's we're very lucky. A lot of boarding schools are in pretty remote locations. And so we're lucky that we are here, right here in the city of Asheville. And one of the landmarks here is the Biltmore Estate, which maybe you guys have heard of. It's really great if you come to visit campus to also go there as well. It's sort of right across the river from campus. It's the largest private residence in the United States. And it's quite beautiful. It's quite magnificent. And we also have 3 colleges here in town. So we're able to take advantage and kind of work with them, and whether it's going to one of their campuses to do research or work with one of their professors, or whether it's to attend a basketball game, right? It's really nice to have those right here locally. In terms of an overview of our school and student body, so we are at about 300 students, and they come from 23 states and 24 countries. So they're from all over the world. And we are 75% boarding, which means that really the heart and soul of the school is boarding, right? So everything that happens here, if anything, sometimes we forget about the day students, honestly. So we really revolve around student life here on campus, and 80% of faculty also live on campus, or we're very present here. And we have 22% international students, again, from those 24 countries. And about a third of our students receive either need-based or merit-based scholarships. Some of our special programs that we are very proud of that sort of set us apart from other schools are, first of all, our integrated humanities classes, which are where our history and English teachers, they collaborate. Sometimes they're even in the same class, like they'll be in each other's classes. And they really, just because your class is labeled English, sometimes that means you are studying the art, the architecture, the music, the religion of that time period. And that is coinciding with that same time period that you are studying in your history class as well, in order to make that time period come alive. And the next one is our Blues Core curriculum, which is it's integrated in all 4 years for our students, but it's primarily in the 9th grade is when we have a Blues Core class built right into our students' schedules. And they cover everything from like the first month of school, just making sure like you know how to use your planner. What is happening this weekend? How do you sign out of campus? Who do you go to if you have a question about your math class that's maybe not the right fit for you, right? So going over all of the basics of Asheville School, and then also the basics of just what do we want you to know? What do we want you to get out of this experience, right? And then it progresses along sophomore, junior, and senior year as well, to include things like healthy decision-making, to include drug and alcohol education, to senior year, focusing on, bringing in a lawyer to talk about, okay, now you're 18. What does that mean? What responsibilities do you now have now that you're an adult in the eyes of the law, right? And the third one is our senior demonstration, which happens in the spring. Each student gets to choose a faculty sponsor, and you read 3 novels alongside your faculty sponsor. And it really is college level work, in that you pick your books, you pick your sponsor, you read with them, you'll meet periodically and discuss, what are you thinking about this? What are you thinking about this theme? And then you write 2 pretty substantial papers, and then you actually orally defend your paper in front of a committee of faculty. And so it is, it's a really big rite of passage for our seniors. And it gives them a tremendous confidence boost going into college, because you get to college and you get assigned a 10-page paper. And instead of being very intimidated by that, our students can say, oh, I just did that last semester, right? And so it's a really great process. And on the faculty side, it's amazing to just see what our students come up with, and to see what they're passionate about, and just what directions they want to go in with their own research. As I've already mentioned, 80% of our faculty live on campus. So we're integrated here. We're here all the time. The relationships we have with students, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on the tennis court, whether it's in advisory, those are ones that are so essential to what we do here and why we do it. It's a place where if you're having a rough day, someone's going to notice, and probably more than one person's going to notice, right? So there's really nowhere to hide. And we think that's a really good thing, especially, I came to the US as an international boarding student, right? My parents very much wanted to know, like, who's laying eyes on me? Like, who's noticing, if I'm having a tough time? Because we hope that every day at boarding school is so fun, and most of them are really fun. But then there are some days that are challenging, right? And you need to know that somebody's looking out for you. So there's just a lot of places to turn to. And we have a lot of fun traditions and events that we have throughout the year that not only connect you to your advisor, your history teacher, your hall parent, but who connect you to your peers, right? So this week is Spirit Week for us, and every day the students dress up in different outfits, different themes. We have a big bonfire on Thursday night, which is led by our seniors. We have a pep rally before, again, led by students to, again, just to get to know each other, to have some fun, right? And then a big dance on Saturday night, which is going to be very exciting. This is what our typical schedule is like. For our students, we have 4 different class periods per day. They're 70 minutes. And if you'll notice on that 3rd period, so what's labeled here is C period, this student has a free period. So those are also integrated throughout the week. And that's a time where you can go back to your room and do a load of laundry, or you can go back to your room and call your parents, although that's not quite a good time to call Trina. But you can also go to the Learning Center to get extra help, or you can go to the library, get ahead on your work, or what have you. The conference period at the end of the day is an important one, and that is when every single teacher is in their classroom available for help. So the door is wide open. So you can go if you have a simple question of, I didn't understand number 7 on my English homework, or it can be, look, I'm kind of lost. Like, can you help me out? And they'll help you in that way as well. And then all of our students do go to afternoon activities, which I'll get into more detail later, but every single student is going and doing something, whether it's a sport or art or music or tutoring. Nobody just goes back to their room and is in their room for the next 8 hours, right? We're out and about, we're interacting with our peers and our community. And dinner's open from 5:30 to 7:30. They can go in anytime. Study hall. It's great that we do have a campus-wide study hall no matter what grade you're in. And so that means there's really no distractions because everybody is studying. So it makes it a lot easier. This is actually the building I'm in right now. This is the center of campus and where most of our academic buildings or academic classes are. In terms of academics, this is what we are most known for, both locally and also why people choose to come here from around the world. And so our courses we have a range of whether it's regular or honors or AP classes, and our average class size is 13. And that is really ideal because, again, no matter if you are the best student in the class or if you are in a little bit over your head, but you are wanting to challenge yourself, right? You want to be able to ask questions. You want to be able to participate. And that is what you're able to do here for sure. I know it was for me and my family, right? An important reason of going to boarding school is to be ready for the next chapter, right? And that was, that's why I left home. And I'm sure that's why some of you guys are considering it as well. And we have an excellent college placement program. It's run by 3 different faculty members, and it's actually built right into your schedule so that if you, your junior year starting in the winter trimester, you have, just like you go to your history class or your science class, you're going to go to your college prep class and start that process junior year of learning how to research what schools might be right for you. And then it goes from there and it ramps up senior year as well. But know that from freshman year, if you want to jump in and start asking questions of the college office or making meetings with them, that's very doable as well. This is a snapshot of some of our colleges in the past 5 years. This is also on our website, so don't feel like you have to take in every name here. But what I'll say about it is that for us, it really is about getting the best fit for you, right? So yes, we have students who go to, the number one ranked colleges in the United States. But we also have students who are going to go to a similar college that might have an even better program. For example, one of our students last year, one of our highest achieving students from Beijing, actually, he is at University of Georgia this year because he specifically wants to study food science. And so for food science, University of Georgia is the best possible program he could go to. Right. So it's our college counselors' jobs to have those conversations and say, okay, while this school is known for this, like actually this one is way better in what you want to study. Right. And that's all part of the conversation. This is our dining hall right next to where I am right now. And this is where we gather. It's open for 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, both for boarders and for day students. And 3 or 4 times a week, we have seated lunches, and that's where you actually have assigned seats, and you'll sit with a group of 6 or 7 students who we're a small enough school that by, a month into school, you're going to know everyone's, face and name, but you might not know how many siblings they have or what afternoon activity they're in or what are they passionate about. And so this is a place where those relationships grow. As a new student, it's a good place for other people to get to know you and be known, right? And then as a returning student, it's a great time to be the one that sits there and is like asking your peer 20 questions about where are they from and what are you into and tell me about your hometown, right? And then for the other meals of the week, it's just buffet style. So you can come in and sit wherever you like. For our other buffet lunches, that's a popular time to also have club meetings. So that's a time when you could, no matter what club you signed up for, that you could give that a try if you want to. So the dining hall is just to my right this way. The chapel is just to my left here. And we have a lot of outdoor seating around campus. So you'll see this in the warm months, which is really a lot of the months here. We do have a winter, but it's pretty short. And so you'll see students meeting in classes outside a lot, which is just a nice change up. And we're a religious school, but we're non-denominational. So that means that we are not associated with a certain sect of Christianity, nor do we have any sort of religious requirement of our students. So we have students and faculty of all different faiths, of no faith. For us, it's just about wanting, during your time here, you're going to learn, and think about, like, what is it that I do believe in and why is that? And that's what's most important to us, is for it to be a thoughtful process. It's not with any goal in mind from our end. So I promised you I'd get back into what our afternoon activities are and what they are like. And so this is at the end of the day. So you've done your 4 classes, you've done your conference period, you've gone to get, your extra questions answered that you might have. And then around 3:45, you are going to head out to the theater, to the art room, to the equestrian center, if you want to, right? So we have an equestrian center here on campus where you can either learn how to ride a horse or continue if it's something you've already done. And we also have a really amazing, what we call mountaineering program, which is where you do mountain biking, skiing, hiking, kayaking, climbing. And this area, as well as being known for the Biltmore and for being a very artistic city, we have a lot of arts here in Asheville. We're also known for being a mecca for all sorts of outdoor activities. And so that's something you can do, even if you've never kayaked before, you can learn how, and we'll teach you. We have amazing teachers who are part of that program. You can also we have 21 different sports. So I've had students who their freshman year, they come in and they're like, I've played tennis a few times and I really want to be on your team. I'm like, great. Try it out, sign up, and by the time they're seniors, they have turned into really good players, and it's a privilege to be a part of that process. So for us, many of those sports teams are open to students who don't have a ton of experience. I'd say we have a good range from teams that are, state champions. I'll get to that in a second. And those same teams also have players on them who really don't have as much experience in those sports. And then in terms of the arts, we do have 3 seasons of drama and music, as well as visual art offered. And then we also have a lot of collaboration with the city of Asheville in terms of, again, we have a ton of artists in the area, so you can work with them in various capacities as well. We had 4 state champions last year. It was a very exciting year for Asheville School athletics. Football in the fall won the state championship. Girls lacrosse, which is a spring sport. That's the picture of them on the left. And then boys and girls swimming as well. And one note about swimming is that for those of you who might be very experienced swimmers, we do own our own swim club here on campus, and you are able to train year round if you are a swimmer. So that's a great perk for those of you who like to be in the water. We do have our Olympic-sized swimming pool here on campus, as well as many other athletic fields here and equipment. We have our full-time strength and conditioning coach that work with all of our varsity sports, most of our JV sports as well. And then additionally, we just have hours that are sort of open workout hours, where you don't have to be on a team. The gym is open to whoever, any student, right? So you can go down and work out and learn how to do some of this stuff if you don't know how to do it yet. Or if you're super experienced, then you can just go ahead and jump in. And this is our pretty newly completed track and field and our turf field, which has lights, and that's where many of our field sports will play their home games over there. And just a few more pictures for you. And some more information about mountaineering. So we have a lot of resources just on campus as well. And then you're going to go off campus quite a bit as well to other parks and climbing gyms and stuff like that as well for those activities. Some more pictures for you in the upper left. So if you've never been in a kayak before, the first place you'll go is in the swimming pool. So make it as safe as possible. And then from there, you'll go out, to the river if you're ready, if and when you're ready. And the picture on the very right is actually one of my tennis players, Amy, who's from Beijing. And she is doing some beekeeping work, I believe. Actually, so we have bees on campus, and it's not required at all. If that's something that you're not interested in, you do not have to do it. You don't have to do any of the mountaineering, actually. But you're certainly welcome to try it out if you like, if that appeals to you. And we've got tons of different ways to participate in art and music, whether it is as your afternoon activity or whether it's as a class during the school day, whether you want to take studio art, whether you want to take our music ensemble class that meets again during the day. You can do both, right? You can be in music ensemble and you can do music as your afternoon activity. You can do art as an elective and art as your afternoon activity. So that could really be a big big part of what you do if you want to. And just quickly to go over what is required for the application. So we do accept the SAO, which is much easier if you're applying to multiple schools. And really our process that's outlined on our website basically mirrors what's required there and what you can submit there. So the student profile, which is nuts and bolts of your really basic information and what your interests are. Student essays, where we get to know you a little bit and what you're interested in, what your personality is like a little bit. Parent statement, since mom and dad know you pretty well. We need English and math teacher recommendations. We will accept additional recommendations, but they're not required. And then we do need a transcript from this year. So at some point later in the semester, usually that'll work, as well as last year's. We do require a Vericant interview for Chinese applicants. And then we do require both SSAT scores and either TOEFL or Duolingo. And we have two different application deadlines. So we have an early decision, and then we have a regular decision. The early decision is December 10th, and that is you committing to saying Asheville School is my number one choice. And if admitted, this is where I will attend. And that's my biggest recommendation for international applications, because that's when we tend to fill virtually all of our international spots is during that early decision round. So that's what I'd highly, highly recommend. And then if you want to keep your options open, we completely understand that February 1st is going to be your regular decision application deadline with the notification of March 10th. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope the translation worked okay. What questions can I answer?
Well, Dari, thank you so much. The translation, the AI translation is perfect.
Oh,
it's
great.
It translates every sentence. I think sometimes they might do a better job than human translator. I would say.
Wow, that's amazing.
AI, and also, just keep the flow, very smooth. I think that's a kind of like why we feel it's a good tool we can use here. So I know there's a few questions in the meeting chat, but also we collected some questions we think that might be very common, for the parent from the parents. So we can just, take a look, at the meeting chat a little bit. I know like your presentation already covered most of them, but we just wanted to make sure we answer all the questions. So I think the first question asking about, the weekend activities, what kind of activity, and how, school usually manage those, activity outside the campus, how to make sure the students are safe. I think particularly for, students from, from different other countries, right? The parents are far away and they just wanted to make sure. And some of the family might not really familiar with American boarding school or private school in general. So I think definitely that's, important question. Yeah.
Great question. So there's a couple of things at play here. So it sounds like weekends and how that's handled, but then also the safety part. So both such important questions. So thank you to whoever asked it. The weekends, every weekend, there's going to be a long list, usually on Wednesday, that comes out. We send an email out from our student life office that says, okay, here are the 6 different things that are happening on campus that you usually just show up for. There's no need to register for those. And then here are the 4 or 6 off-campus trips that we're going to take, whether it's to the mall or to Target or to paintball or to another, to the symphony, right? So those have all happened this year multiple times, right? So you're going to have the opportunity to sign up for those. Whenever you leave campus for one of those trips, you're going to be accompanied by at least one Asheville School faculty member. And so it might be something like structured where you're going to go sit at a symphony with, one of our teachers who's in the symphony, and has participated in it in the past, or it's going to be, a shopping trip or what have you, where the faculty member is going to be there and be around and be a part of that process. In terms of general safety, we do have, we have a fenced campus. We have a front gate that's manned 24/7, and we have at least 2 security people on duty at all times. So we're definitely have the safety piece is, of course, one of our top priorities. If as a parent, you're sharing your number one most prized possession in the whole world with us, right? We want you to feel good about that safety. It's very important to us.
Yeah, for sure. That's, what I always share with the family. They are consider boarding school, not just boarding school. Every private school in US, really take, good measures to make sure, every student studying on the campus, it feels safe, and also, there's, different measures to make sure that, yeah. So let's just go over. So I know like some family ask about what is the percentage of Chinese student. I understand we, like the international student like number, but I don't know if you have like a number for Chinese student, student from China. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Chinese students, this year, I believe it's 11% of our student body is from China. Yeah, and they're some of our best and brightest students for sure.
That is for sure. That is for sure. And
yes.
Yeah, that's right. So I think some of them, one question asked about online, like a virtually campus tour. I know like not every family is able to kind of travel to US for the interview. So I know you mentioned about American, of course, a student from China need to do that. But will students have a chance to interview with your school again and also do the virtual campus tour?
Yes and yes. So once you've submitted your VeriCant interview, you can reach out to us to see if we need an additional interview. And then you can also sign up we have some virtual tours available as well later this fall. So I can definitely get you signed up for one of those as well.
Okay, great. That's good to know. Yeah. So I think we have a few minutes left. I'm gonna, just to share, a few more questions we collected from our parents, which are very, popular. And I think like, the question the parents really, concern, right? So thank you for in the beginning share about Asheville's, the Asheville school location. I think that's super important because, some family, they might not familiar, the state and the city itself. Like, unfortunately, I have not been visited, I have not visited your school, but some of our parents and students, they visited, they really love your school, the city itself, like nice look at the beautiful pictures, of the, all the facility. I think that's great, like for every student living on campus. I think that's a beautiful, campus, a great facility. So I think that's good. So I just wanted to know, since every year we have international students, particularly, about 10% from China. So what do students usually describe the experience and the growth after the graduate from Asheville School, and particularly international, international student?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I'd say number one is our students graduate with a confidence that they can go into college, and no matter what happens, no matter what kind of level of school they go to, they go in with the confidence that they have already accomplished something that is challenging, right? So Asheville School is not meant to be easy, right? It's meant to challenge you. It's meant to push you out of your comfort zone. We mean to have you try something you've never tried before, right? And that's part of the growth that happens here. But it's not okay, good luck with that, we'll see you in 3 years. We're along the whole time, right? So when you have a question about it and when you want to talk something through with your advisor, right? That's when the magic happens, right? And that's when we're able to kind of help you along in that process and really have that confidence. To advocate for yourself is really important. So to be able to then in college go up to your professor and say, hi, my name is Alex, and I have a question about your lecture today, right? Because our students have been doing that for several years, whereas a student coming from another school would just be like, oh, my question's not that important, it's fine, right? But for our students, it's an immersive experience, right? There's give and take within that process. And that's what I think is most important. It's very validating for us as faculty to year after year hear students come back to campus and say, yeah, college is fine, I've got it. I mean, it's not super easy, but I was very prepared and went in with that confidence from boarding school.
Well, thank you for, sharing this. I mean, like, I can feel that, when you just talked about the college matriculation, I mean, like you mentioned the student is from Beijing, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Who got into, maybe, like not considered the top 10, top 20, national, whatever ranking school, but like he got into the best program in the major he chose. I think that's important because it shows like how strong the counseling program is, and also how students get all this professional information to help them to choose which school is the best for my major, not just for the name and the ranking. I think that is impressive. And also I really like what you mentioned during the presentation, saying like the stuff on campus, gonna notice everything happening. You don't have a kind of like, because it's a smaller community and you have nowhere to hide. It does not sound good. It sounds like a weird, but like everyone is paying attention to you. I think that's super important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about this school is just the size and what a privilege that is to really be able to get to know the students so well. And that's part of the magic for sure.
Yeah, sure. I have one more question, like then we can wrap up. So like for like students get on campus, particularly international student, what would be the common challenge they encounter when they get on the campus, and do you have any suggestion for them?
I'd say, well, jet lag for our friends who come from many hours away. That's a fun one to get over. So if you are able to come a couple days early, if you're coming with a parent or a family member or a friend, right? If you're able to come a couple days early just to sort of become a little bit better with the time change, and also to do things like get your cell phone on an American plan, right? And things like that, that once the school year gets started, it's the first couple of days of school they're very busy, and that's intentional, right? Because we want you to get to know a lot of people and have a lot of fun those first couple days. But if you are able to come early and sort of take care of a couple of those things before, I'd say that's most important. And then I'd say just once you get here, and this goes for every student, it doesn't matter where you're from. Usually not many of our students have been to boarding school before, right? So just to ask a lot of questions and know that if you're thinking it, there's probably a lot of other students here thinking that same question.
Oh, that's great. So, like a suggestion to the student who is going to, apply and going to come to study in US. Yeah, well, thank you, Dari. It's great presentation and, covers a lot about Asheville. And I think it also shows about the key things, key points about school and the community. And, we have a BO currently in your school. I know he likes everything going on.
Yes.
So yeah, we just keep talking about our new student this year, and thank you for your time, at night to share about Asheville School to everyone, and also your experience. Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Cindy, thank you for hosting, and thank you all for waking up early to learn about boarding schools. I wish you the very best. This is such an exciting process, and please don't hesitate to reach out to anybody on our admission team, whether it's me or one of my colleagues, as you move through the process, and we're excited to get to know you.
Thank you, Dari.
All right. Thank you.
I'll see you later. Bye.
All right.